This is a set taken close to failure. Watch the last few reps. Those dumbbells are moving noticeably slower. That slowdown isn't a choice. This is what hard training looks like. Now, if every set you did this week looked like that, could you have trained 6 days? Honestly. Because the issue is, most people are training 5 or 6 days per week and they're fine. Maybe a little bit sore, maybe a little bit of DOMS, but they're fine. And that's the problem. If you can comfortably train 6 days across the week, that isn't evidence that you're working hard. In fact, it's the exact opposite. Not because 6 days is wrong on paper, but if you're training hard, and I mean genuinely hard, close to failure, 6 days across a week, you would genuinely know about it. You'd be feeling it by Thursday. Here's how it normally happens. If you're lifting 6 days across the week, you might pick push-pull legs, rest. Now on paper, this is bang on. You've got the frequency that you need. You're training your major muscle groups 2 times per week. This is how we grow. But it's what that push day actually turns into is where the issue lies. So if you're getting through it without too much trouble at all, it's normally one of two things. Either you're an advanced lifter and you have a specific program, and I'll get back to that, or you're not training anywhere near hard enough. And for the majority of you, it's going to be that second one. So let's take a push day as an example. You're doing your chest, you're doing your shoulders, you're doing your triceps. And then because you're doing it 2 times per week, you're doing 2 full sessions. And let's take it as an example. A flat press, an incline machine press, an incline dumbbell press, a cable fly, maybe even a pec deck, some lateral raises, a dumbbell shoulder press. Then you're doing 2 tricep. All of a sudden you've got 8, 9 exercises and filling up space. The issue isn't necessarily the exercises themselves, it's the amount of volume that you're doing. And if you were training hard enough, you'd be doing 20 plus hard sets. And then of course, because of that, your intensity dies down. Now, the back end of that push session would be the first area that you'd notice it. Your triceps. Well, you just tag them on at the end. The intensity wasn't there the same way that it was for your press at the beginning. And then by the time your second push day rolls around, it's Thursday. You've done push, pull, legs. And that second push session is toilet in comparison to the first one. So the second session that was giving you that frequency, you are now training at less intensity, using less weight, and therefore making less progress, which seems pretty counterproductive. And then there's the part that nobody plans for. If we're honest, not many people train 6 days across the week. They train 6 days across the week on paper. Something will crop up. Maybe you have to stay late at work. Maybe there's a schedule change. Maybe something comes up over the weekend. And then all of a sudden your 6 sessions turn into maybe 4. And then you end up across the week dropping some sessions. Which ones go first? Well, legs is definitely gonna go, maybe both of them. You might drop out the second pull session. And all of a sudden, a split that was built on training muscle groups 2 times across the week, so you get the frequency, is now a 4-day split where you've hit 2 push days, 1 pull day, and then you might hit the leg session, which again, is counterproductive. Every muscle in that plan was supposed to be getting hit 2 times across the week, but half of them only get hit once, and some of them might not get hit at all. So in my opinion, a 4-day split that you actually complete every single week is always gonna be a 6-day split that you only complete 2/3 of week in, week out. So what does a hard set that actually counts look like? Well, you should be finishing somewhere between 0 and 2 reps in reserve, away from failure. Meaning that if someone had paid you to keep going, you're probably 1 or 2 reps away from that. And here's the part that most people miss. It's not necessarily about how hard it's currently feeling or how difficult it is for the muscle. It's actually about what that bar is doing or what that dumbbell is doing. See, it should be involuntarily slowing down across those final 2, 3, maybe even 4 reps. That is the part where the muscle is actually giving out. It's got nothing more to give. And those sets where it involuntarily slows down, those are the ones that force the adaptation. See, most people stop at the first sign of difficulty. It hurts a little bit. But this is where the magic happens. And those 3, 4, 5 reps where it involuntarily slows down is where you make all of the progress. And if you do that across 3 to 4 sets, across multiple different exercises, let me tell you now, you wouldn't want to be under the bar the next day. Now, I actually train 6 days per week. Let me be super straight about that before somebody points it out. But I do 4 weight training sessions, 1 interval session, and 2 runs across the week. 7 sessions in total, 1 of them being a double day, 1 rest day across the week. Now, the point here is that I don't lift 6 days per week. The cardio work and the lifting, that's a different stimulus. And my body is in a position where I can recover from that. And my current split is lower, upper. I do a full body posterior and a full body anterior, meaning that I still get the volume 2 times per week across the muscle groups that I need them to be on, but that I don't have to do it across 6 days, across a week. So what I think about here is quality over quantity. For each 4 of these sessions that I train in the gym, lifting weights, I can show up and I can put in that hard work every single time because I can actually recover from it. And that's the mistake that so many of you are making. Now, I also want to be super fair about this. Not every single 6-day split is complete nonsense. If you are an advanced lifter or a bodybuilder or something along those lines where you've been training for a very long time, you might need specific sessions that are a little bit shorter, where your volume is a little bit more scattered across the week and you can actually recover from it because you've built up the capacity. However, for so many of you, that is not the issue here. See, the question isn't how many days across the week. The question should be, can you explain why you need to train that many days across the week? And if your answer is, well, it's what the program said so, then again, that's your issue. So here's what I actually want you to do with all of this. The first thing is you should probably drop to 4 sessions across the week, because that's what you can actually realistically show up to. And then you can run 2 different splits. You can run the same split as me, an upper, lower, a full body posterior and a full body anterior, or you can run an upper, lower, upper, lower. Both are incredible, and both of them will see you train those muscle groups 2 times across the week to get the volume and frequency that you need. And then in these sessions, you want to keep it to 5 to 6 exercises, 15 to 18 hard sets across each session. If you go in 20 plus, again, you're just doing too much volume and filling time. Then the trade-off, you train very hard. You want that bar to involuntarily slow down, because as we discussed, that is what forces adaptation, which of course, in turn, is what allows you to build muscle and of course, progress, applying progressive overload alongside that too. Again, you'll complete 4 sessions. The 2 that you then miss out on, you're making up for, because you can actually finish those 4 sessions hard and actually see the benefits off the back of it. I now have 3 actionable steps for you to move forwards. The first one, like I said, you probably want to cut to 4 sessions across the week and then plan into your schedule exactly when you're going to do those. The second one, the next time you go into the gym, your first working set, I want you to focus on training to complete failure. That bar, that dumbbell involuntarily slows down. And the thing I want you to do is count how many additional reps you have done in comparison to what you normally would have done. It might be 4, might be 5, might be 6, but you would have also figured out the reason as to why you haven't been seeing the progress that you wanted to. And then number 3, those 2 sessions that theoretically would have been planned and completed, go and do something else with that. Maybe it's a walk, maybe it's a run, maybe you just spend some more time relaxing and recovering. Maybe it's a sauna. But put those 3 together and you're gonna have a far more productive week. Do that for 8 weeks and you'll be training less often, yes, but you'll be training harder and making more progress than ever. I can guarantee it. Now, if you would like someone to take the guesswork away from all of this for you and build a structure around your week, I coach guys one-to-one, hundreds of transformations now, like you will see behind me. So that coaching link will be in the description. If you want to get involved, if you want to get in touch, I'll get back to you. Away from that, I hope that of course you enjoyed the video as always. As you know, I'm making videos every single Sunday, and I'm here to help you guys get lean and build a great physique. See you in the next one.